This is the new Chevrolet Colorado, and this was taken from the Australian Holden Colorado and adapted for the US market. Now the thing is this is a mid-size truck, and I want to get this across right away because there seems to be some misconception that this competes with full-size offerings, and it does not. So with that said, you take a look at it, and this car was manufactured in Wentzville, Missouri. About 66% of it is completely American. The transmission's from America. Again, final assembly points from here, and only about 17% of the parts come from Mexico. Now, ergonomically, this is a truck. You know, there's some trade-offs that you have to have with a pickup, but mostly there's some creative things that they've done. There's a step in the back bumper that aids getting into the bed, a handle on the bed as well. The liftgate in the back is soft open and easy close. So things like that make this a more practical truck for the urban warrior. You know, I'm not really sold on the Z71 package. Yes, it gives you the off-roading capability, but at the same time, it raises the cost a little bit. It gives you these Z71 badges, you know, a different style grille, you know, a little bit of the fluff that just kind of tacks on cost. Oh. Well, I can tell you right now, I'm 5'9", I have trouble getting into this vehicle without the running boards. I think that would be a pretty good addition if you're shorter and you're not a huge truck person, because it is kind of a pain to get in and out of this. Now, interior quality is kind of subjective, but what I can compare this to is what you'd expect out of a $20,000 to $22,000 compact car. Now, much is said this is the best interior out of any mid-sized truck, which is exactly true, because the competition is so dated that anything would be better than those. But if you're coming from trucks, you're gonna like this interior. It's super simple, well laid out. One of the things that drives me nuts is this interior tone. It is so loud. It's like annoyingly loud, and typically I don't say that. The other annoyance about the interior is the turn signal volume. It is so loud when you're in here because it's a quiet cabin that it just grates on your nerves. And the worst part is when you're on a phone call, especially a Bluetooth phone call, the person on the other end will always say, "Dude, what are you hitting a glass with a hammer?" I mean, it is loud. There's so many distracto cars out there, and most of it's because of the infotainment being just unnecessarily complicated while you're driving. And touchscreens are just a nightmare typically. The MyLink and the IntelliLink for GM is one of those mixed bags. But one of the things that I really like about the Colorado's implementation of it is the proximity of the touchscreen to the steering wheel. Your hand can ergonomically move over the touchscreen to actually use some of these functions. Overall, the interior ergonomics are good. The storage is excellent. The cup holder design is pretty good. There's really just not a lot to complain about. The car has 4 USB ports, 2 in the front, 2 in the back for the passengers. The backseat legroom is really good. Surprisingly good for this segment and just for a pickup truck in general. The crew cab offers just comfort for 4 people that would remind you of a compact car. This is really a vehicle that is friendly for multiple passengers. It also offers some fold down and flip up capability in the back seats for extra storage or, you know, storage options. It gives you that, it has price points where the common man can afford it to tow his toys like PWCs or go-karts, or you can tow a race car to a track with this thing if you wanted to without destroying your checkbook. You can get one for 20 grand, or you can go balls to the wall and spend over 40 on it. So it does give you a good option in terms of price points. We're gonna test out just how reliable the bed of the Colorado is with my new toilet that I found. Because one thing's for certain is if you can't ride in comfort in the bed of a pickup truck on a toilet, then this is not gonna be the type of vehicle that you want.
Why do you have this cable attached to the toilet?
Well, honestly, we're gonna use the Colorado's built-in tethers here. There's little hooks to secure things, and I'm really afraid, now that I can go garbage picking with a pickup truck, I've always wanted to do that. I don't want somebody stealing this product.
Your toilets?
Have you seen the commercials for this car?
Have not.
Well, you're really missing out.
Which man is sexier, Truck, yeah.
This guy is definitely the guy your mom wants you to marry, and this is the guy you're gonna run off to and leave him to be with him.
That truck is gonna protect my little girl, and I'm always concerned about getting her home safe.
People feel strongly about truck guys.
It is the guy.
I'm Scott, and this is the all-new 2015 Chevy Colorado.
Which one is cooler?
He's driving a 4-door truck. That says it all. He's living and he's existing.
He's like, yeah, I'm cruising and I'm gonna go to the beach now. And this guy's like, yeah, I'm gonna go home and watch TV.
One thing I've noticed is I'm no longer attracting just like the really desperate girls.
You know you want a truck.
What I've started to learn with this is, as soon as I got this pickup truck, I also became a lot more popular, and that's why I got the toilet for the back. What you don't know, and what a lot of people don't know, is they see this in the back and they think, okay, I'm just transporting something. That's not the point of it. When I go out with Rebecca next week, she's gonna wanna go to the bathroom, because as we know scientifically, women have infantile bladders. So if we're going on we're gonna take this to the opera next week. So if she wants to pull over and we're running late, I just quickly veer off, or she can climb out the window. She likes danger because I drive a truck.
Is that what that thing is on top there? Toilet paper holder?
Yeah, it's a toilet paper holder. So when Rebecca hops onto the back of this bed, she's gonna think I'm a man because I have a Colorado, but more importantly, she's gonna think I'm practical because I've set her up with a defecation station. Yo, bro, alley-oop. I know, you got all, look at them calipers. What are they?
4 pistons, Akibonos.
That's pretty extreme for this. But the damper units look like they're made in Mexico. Is that going to affect any performance?
Unlikely. I like the reduced undercarriage airflow.
Yeah, this chin spoiler helps aero efficiency, but seems to severely handicap ground clearance. You could. Yeah, when you take a look, we had a shot here for you to take a look at the front of the car. I can't believe how little ground clearance really is here, but then again...
Who's actually going to take it off-road?
Right, but you have a Z71 off-road package. Maybe this is just...
Well, this says everyone's going to lift it.
Oh.
You can do some body lift, put some hockey pucks. 36mm sway bar.
You're telling me about something up here. What's the deal?
There's a fuel pump module above the spare tire.
Okay, what about it?
It's in a better location than it previously was.
What other car had that?
All the Chevy trucks.
And
it was outboard on the outside of the frame. I never got splashed by water or anything, so it never went bad.
What is that, Scott?
It's leftover Daewoo parts.
From the Laganza?
Aluminum exhaust pipe.
This.
That's the exhaust pipe.
Oh, this is the exhaust.
Yeah, it's like a turbine. It spins the gears in the back.
So it spins the exhaust out?
No. Air goes through here, and it spins a turbine in there, and that's what makes the car go.
Oh, so that's what they're doing for the Colorado this year.
Right.
Okay, makes sense.
And for emissions, they had to put a fake exhaust on it.
When you get behind the wheel of the Z71 Colorado, you can ride in 3 selectable modes: 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and 4-wheel drive low. And most of the time you're gonna drive around, especially in an urban setting, or most settings, you're gonna drive in 2-wheel drive because you're gonna have better efficiency fuel economy wise. Which my fuel economy is average from, at worst, 17 miles to the gallon, all the way to about 21 miles per gallon in mixed driving. One of the things I really like about this truck is the 6L50 transmission. This is a smooth transmission. Now, obviously, if you're gonna be towing, you don't want rough upshifts and downshifts, but just here's a little bit of an experience for you. So if we wanna go down in a second, back down in a second. Rev matches downshifts. Now, from a performance perspective, this is not a performance car, and that's not why it's rev matching downshifts. That's not why it has smooth upshifts and downshifts. It's just basically, if you're going to be towing, you don't want to be jarring your payload. You don't want to be jostling things around. But in the case here, when you especially go into second and first, really smooth. Acceleration. This is a 3.6 liter and you're getting 305 horsepower. Well, if you're into large trucks, this is not going to seem like a lot. But for a medium-sized truck, it is best in class. It just has that pull that you would expect from a larger truck. It has some balls. The manual mode allows you to really just completely control this transmission in better ways than most automatic transmissions I've driven, especially on trucks. And then, obviously you drive it in normal mode and it's totally smooth all the time. Now there's also a trailering mode, which also allows that transmission to automatically be even smoother for you if you don't want to use the manual mode to control the gears. So when you get into this truck for the first time, you're going to realize if you're coming from a car or a smaller car, it feels big. It feels big because the hood space is big. It just feels immense at first. Now, if you're coming from a truck or you're coming from a full-size truck, this is nothing. In fact, when I got in this, I couldn't believe how car-like it was to drive, and you're going to hear that a lot. It's almost like a car/small SUV to drive completely from steering feel, and that's thanks to its massive electronic power steering motor. It maintains a really smooth steering feel whenever you're driving it. And the suspension geometry. You have double wishbone suspension in the front. They put a lot of design effort into the suspension to make it feel not very truck-like. That is until you start getting over really choppy pavement. You have a leaf spring rear suspension in the back. It's got a truck suspension in the back, and you feel it over the dicey stuff more so. Handling. It's got so much balls, but this is a pickup truck. I mean, let's just face it. You have a lot of suspension travel. You get a lot of understeer initially, and then you turn off the traction control on this beast, and you got crazy truck-like oversteer. But the power that it has, and that sense of agility you get in the steering, kind of fools you into thinking, well, maybe I can get away with a lot more than it is really capable of. The power of this truck is more than adequate. Mated with this transmission, it makes it a really, it makes it a real doable daily driver. There are some cons about the Colorado, and I've picked up on this from driving it a little bit. One thing in the tester that I have, the alignment is off. The steering wheel is cocked to the left. Now, that's not a GM issue. That just is a tester issue and easily corrected. The second issue I picked up on is kind of hesitation throughout the rev band under full throttle acceleration. You can kind of feel this like chugging. It's like, I don't know if the ECU is pulling timing from the motor as it's revving out. I don't know if it's a fueling issue, but it's pretty consistent. But when you're driving in your fuel economy range, between 50 and 60 miles an hour, with the 6-speed automatic, you're going to be settling at about a little bit around 1500 RPMs. And at that 1500 RPM range, I feel a lot of surging. I feel this like chugging, hesitation a lot of times. It's not always there, but it's definitely there more under load, which makes me feel like it's some type of tuning bug. What it boils down to is on paper and on the spec sheet, this truck is the mid-class leader. The Tacoma and the Frontier that it competes with are just dated. And once those come out and the new models come out, it might be a different story. But as of today, this is the mid-sized truck that you want to look at first. The biggest concern is this being a new model, and this is, you don't have to do much research on the internet to find people's big concerns is GM's quality, GM's longevity here, not only in terms of build quality, fit and finish. There's some major concerns about that going forward, and only time will tell if this is going to hold up to the test of time.